Hello guys. Today our learning target is I can understand area as an attribute of plane figures. Let's start with some fluency practice. This should be pretty easy for you guys. How many sides does this shape have? 3 is correct. Now we're going to name the shape. What shape is this? You guessed it, a triangle. How many sides does this shape have? 4, right? Now we're going to name the shape. It's a square. How many sides does this shape have? 4. What's the name of this shape? It's a rectangle. This one might be a little trickier. How many sides does this shape have? 4. Let's name the shape. Think hard. Right, it's a rhombus. How many sides does this shape have? 4. Now we're going to name this one. Can you remember the name of this shape? It's a trapezoid. All right, let's look at this problem. Angela uses squares to find the area of a rectangle. Her work is shown above. How many squares did she use to cover the rectangle? So when we're talking about area, we're talking about the area inside of a shape. And today we're going to use squares to find that area of this rectangle. So we see that there are squares in the rectangle, and we have to count the squares to figure out how many squares are in the area of this rectangle. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and count the squares. So how many squares did she use to cover the rectangle? If you said 15 squares, you are correct. So we counted, and that's the way we would have done it in second grade. But in third grade, there's an easier way to figure out the area of a rectangle. So now that you guys know multiplication and know your multiplication tables pretty well, we can use multiplication to figure out the area. So we're going to look at the length times the width. So we're going to look at the longer side times the shorter side of a rectangle to figure out the area. So we can say 5 times 3, and we know that 5 times 3 is 15. So you can count and get 15 squares, or you can do 5 times 3 and get 15 squares as well. All right, guys, today after our Google Meet, you will be completing this exit ticket. You will be completing it digitally, so it will look a little bit different, but it's the same question. The question is, each square is 1 square unit. Do both rectangles have the same area? Explain how you know. So when you're explaining, make sure that you are using complete sentences. You are going to make sure that you're capitalizing and including punctuation, and make sure you read it back to make sure it makes sense. All right, guys, you did an excellent job today, and I will see you later.